What is going on, YouTube people? Today, PSA submission video. I am sending off my first ever all TCG order to PSA. We have 20, it's actually 2 orders. 21 cards in a bulk submission, and then 1 card going in as a single submission because it is a little bit higher value. And we're going to ship this bad boy off and see what happens. Most of these cards I either bought raw or I had a couple loose booster bundles floating around and ripped some stuff. Yes, I degen some Pokemon off camera, ripped a few 151 bundles, some Crown Zenith bundles, and ripped a couple surprise boxes from Prismatic. I wanted to see how the promos were looking coming out of there and if I could get anything good to grade. So we have a little mix match of everything. So let's just go ahead and get into it. This is getting shipped off. We'll see. Their turnaround times are a little backed up right now, especially on bulk. But we'll see what happens. So first up, we'll do the 1 card order. This is the more expensive one. This is going in at like value plus or whatever. So a shorter turnaround time on this one. But we have a Beta Sarah Angel. A very nice looking Beta Sarah Angel. It is heavy on the top and bottom. But other than that, left to right centering is pretty much dead on. Top is definitely heavy. It's about 54/46 when I checked it on the centering tool. So that'll be pretty close. The back is clearly OC. They give you a little bit more leeway on the back. The corners are all really pretty good on it. It's got, a little tiny white there, but generally speaking, a very, very clean copy of a Beta Sarah Angel. And this was a crack out. I cracked this out from a PCG slab in a 9 grade. So it was a mint 9, 3 9s across the board, and a 9.5. This is Rudy's grading company from Alpha Investments. I ended up purchasing this on eBay, and I want to move it over to a PSA slab. I'm hoping it gets a PSA 9. I really hope it doesn't come back a PSA 8, but we will see. So that's the first one, but like I said, a really, really nice presenting Beta Sarah Angel, as I am starting to get a little bit more into vintage Magic. A little white along the edge there, but regardless, looks great. And I think it'll look really good in a PSA slab. So that's the 1 card order. Then the 21, this is mostly Pokemon. There are a couple Magic cards mixed in here. I had some promos that I wanted to get graded, but we'll talk about those in a minute. So we have the Charizard here from Paldean, and most of these are, there's a little bit of Paldean Fates in here. Most of these are about $50 to $100 cards, mostly $50 to $60 cards in PSA 10s. And then there are a few high dollar cards here. If a couple of these cards grade really well, I probably expect to get an upcharge email. So we'll see. This would be one of them. This is the Charizard out of Paldean Fates. Great looking card there. I actually purchased this raw at a card show. It is a little heavy right to left. So I think it'll be close on the centering side of things. Probably a 9. I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to come back a 9. I got to remember to keep these in order for the submission paperwork. We have the Umbreon. This is the Prismatic Surprise Box promo. We have an Elsa Sparkle. We have the Pikachu from, I believe this is from Crown Zenith. And I might get some stuff wrong here. Remember, I am not normally a Pokemon guy, which I have to say, this is the first time I've used the new PSA app for a couple of weeks now. The new PSA app is really, really great. Normally, I hand enter submissions in. I use the scanning feature this time exclusively. And for the Pokemon stuff, it was fantastic because a lot of the cards, I don't remember exactly what set they come from off the top of my head. Here we have the Radiant Charizard out of Crown Zenith. So it was super handy, and it worked extremely well. Little Charizard V. Sylveon from Prismatic. This is also from the surprise boxes. Pikachu from Surging. Oh, I'm sorry, from Prismatic. The gold. Nice looking card. We got a Switch. Got a Giovanni's Charisma. Got a Kelby. Flareon with a Pokeball from Prismatic. A little Bulbasaur action. Actually, pack pulled this one. A little Eevee promo from Prismatic Elite Trainer Box. And then we have the 151. So like I said, I had some loose. I had like an odd number of 151 booster bundles. So I think I had like 43 booster bundles. And I just didn't like having the random 3. I think it was like one of those Target drops where you're limited to 3 quantity. So I just ended up ripping those 3 to keep the stack nice and neat. And one of them actually had a God Pack in it and hit all 3 in the same pack. Now the Charmander and the Charizard look pretty good. The Charmeleon is off-centered. I don't think this is going to get a 10 just based off centering alone. It is very heavy on the right compared to a left. So I think it's most likely going to be a 9. The Charmander looks pretty decent on centering. It's a little heavy on the bottom. The back doesn't look too bad, mostly looking for the white corners. The Charmeleon is definitely OC. And then the Zard is going to be cutting it close. It's definitely a little heavy on the right, which is okay. It could be a little heavy on the right. But the back doesn't look too bad either. This is one that I would also expect to get an upcharge on if it got a PSA 10. We got a Zapdos. And then the final 2 cards, these are the counter spells. These were the promos that they handed out at New York City Comic Con. And I think 1 or 2 other Magic-specific conventions. I've ended up with 2 copies of these over time, and I wanted to get these ones graded. Part of this, I would not send... If I had a couple of more Pokemon cards, I would not include these in the order, but it's a 20-card minimum. I thought about grading some of my stuff from Secret Lair Marvel, but I didn't want to just grade a couple of them and not grade all of them, and I also didn't want to make this like a 40-card order just to include that stuff in. So I figured this was a good compromise sending 2 of these off, but I really like the Doctor Strange counter spells for the promo cards. So we are sending these off to go along with it. So this is going off. We will probably see this stack in a few months. I think they're running about 45-day turnaround time, plus a couple of weeks to get it checked in. So we're probably looking at 3 months for this, if I had to guess, give or take. And then hopefully we get this one back a little bit quicker. I think the service time on this one is 15 or 20 days. So hopefully we have, and these get checked in super fast. Hopefully we have this one back by the end of the month, or at least early April, or at minimum just know the grade. So, but that is what we got. These are heading off. I got to get these all packaged up and ready to go. But that is the video. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. And obviously we'll do a reveal once we get her back in a few months. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.